Overnight, something extremely interesting happened in the Ripple versus SEC lawsuit. Because you might not know this, but there could be yet another settlement. I know, it sounds vague, it sounds a little bit of a but I thought the lawsuit was over. Yet right now as we speak, Ripple is in discussions with the SEC, and the judge ordered them to come to a couple of dates to go sit down and discuss a possible settlement. So what exactly that means, we're gonna be talking about in this video. And as you can see, we're back in the $20 billion studio. So make sure guys, make sure that you press that like button. Anyway, let us dive right into the news right now because I think it's absolutely crazy. And this could, of course, be huge. It doesn't have to mean anything, but it could be huge. Take a look at this. It ain't over till it's over, says Ari. As Eleanor Tourette posted a little bit earlier. New. Judge Sarah Netburn orders both Ripple and the SEC to agree on 3 mutually convenient dates to schedule a settlement conference. Quote, if they believe it to be productive at this time. Also recommends scheduling 6 to 8 weeks beforehand due to the court's busy schedule. Okay. Now, of course, there had to be some clarifications because I'm going to show you in just a second how the community acted when they found out about this without all these official reports. But Eleanor Tourette said this. To be clear, the judge is suggesting that both sides agree on some possible dates for a settlement meeting if they believe it to be productive at this time. Now, we have seen Brad Garlinghouse come out quite recently, I think as long as 3 weeks ago, to state that there's no settlement which can be made between them and the SEC because there's just no crossing here. There's no middle ground, and so it's either Ripple or the SEC that wins. But of course, guys, that might have changed now that there's a verdict already. And Gary Gensler, I'm not sure if I've shown it to you already, has actually gone on an interview to explain just how disappointed he was with the verdict in the Ripple lawsuit. It could be so that they now want to just grab everything for what they can, and so don't come to a middle ground here, don't settle. No, get your full-on win on the end part, which of course is going to trial, etc. Or it could be so that the SEC wants to mitigate some of the further loss potential to find some middle ground, settle it behind closed doors, and not look even more stupid in the public. Just to give you some idea, over on Twitter, as I said before, things were looking absolutely crazy. I mean, it was really fun to watch. One of the things that I saw was this from Brett. XRP holders, one, the asset itself is not a security. Case is now 100% done. Big announcement, settlement done. Right, as he said, there's a big announcement tomorrow. And right now, if you look at the most recent filing over on the 17th, you can see United States District Court, Southern District of New York, SEC against Ripple Labs, and Elisa Torres, the district judge. The above entitled action is referred to the Honorable Sarah Netburn for the following purposes. So again, sent to her. Well, a little cross has been put under general pretrial, includes scheduling, discovery, non-dispositive pretrial motions, and settlement. Click, done. And now also, that was just filed, settlement has been put in here. And so that's why everybody is saying, oh, the settlement is over. It's all done, amazing, blah, blah, blah. And like I said, the community was all over the place. So people outside the community, like Charles, are not getting the likes they usually were getting because he's basically turned on the community. Wait, if Ripple won, why is the company settling? First of all, they're not. And second of all, people just want to see this freaking community burn. I've said it over on Twitter. There are some people out there who want nothing more than just for either everybody to lose money or for everybody to just become unhappy or something like that. I'm not exactly sure why people are so negative about these things all the time. I really honestly don't know. However, Fred also had something to say about it. He said, this will likely, all right, let's actually see the original tweet that was from Eleanor. He gave his response. They will likely schedule one as to just not anger the court, but it will go about as well as the last 2 settlement conferences before went, because apparently this is number 3. Settlement only happens when both parties finally reach the compromise each can stomach. And as far as we understand, there's none such middle ground. Anyway, guys, before we move on, make sure that you've got that like button pressed. Because as far as I understand this, and please correct me if I am actually wrong in this issue, but it seems as if the district judge, Torres, has now referred back to the magistrate judge because of some things like the scheduling, etc. and the Judge Therese is only there to rule on the specific, bigger motions. And for all this scheduling, discovery, and everything, she's referring back to them potentially for the trial, or potentially this is so just to put things into order to explain that this has all happened, and she just refers back to her, and that's about it. Anyway, Fred had also something else quite interesting to say. Take a look at this. The SEC's strategy will be revealed if it requests judgment under Rule 54B, which allows it to immediately appeal the claim it lost. If Judge Therese denies a request for Rule 54B judgment, SEC can seek interlocutory appeal, which probably has a 10% chance of succeeding. Getting the appeal itself heard, not winning the appeal, which is absolutely horrendous odds for the SEC. Now Ripple is in the driver's seat and can pull an SEC, aka delay and pray, until trial. Bottom line, XRP holders sitting comfortable until 2025. And if you don't understand, the point there being that it's just really hard for the SEC to set their foot in the door to get XRP out of this security status, even though some Twitter lawyers like to make it seem as if XRP might actually still turn over. No, it won't. We saw earlier from the SEC as well, they said they are not sure if they want to appeal. They didn't want to comment on that. That has potentially now changed. I'm just reporting on what I found, right? Potentially it has changed. And this is what I'm getting from Mr. Gary Gensler. I'm getting some negative vibes. I've turned the light red. Breaking. In a luncheon at the Press Club DC, Gary Gensler hints heavily that SEC plans to appeal the Therese Ripple decision. Quote, "We're still looking at it and assessing the part the commission lost, which basically said no disclosures are necessary when selling crypto directly to exchanges. The question, does the SEC seek a so-called interlocutory appeal and that would expedite the process? It's rarely granted, but the SEC can make the case Therese's ruling is so out there, it's needed to clear up obvious ambiguities she created. But I personally stand with crypto assets guy with, well, but the moment that they were to appeal now and they'd lose that, it's absolutely horrendous for them. And the situation that the SEC is in now, I don't like it, but it's still quite recoverable on a lot of different fields. Can't get away with a lot of stuff still, but the moment that they appeal and fully go for the, let's make everything clear, no ambiguity anymore, judge, come out of your chair and explain everything to us. If she still stands by Ripple, yeah, that will be extremely bad for them. So once more, right now the two most prominent pieces are the fact that the SEC is looking into an appeal, the fact that the SEC went on to Telly to explain just how disappointed they are, but I'll talk about that more in another video coming out later today. And of course, right, settlement, disappointed, appeal, these three things. And of course, at the same time, we're seeing a massive amount of manipulation, mostly from within the community. I've seen a lot of people try to destroy the XP community from the inside out for some reason. I'm not so sure exactly why people are doing it. Whenever I look over on Twitter, the amount of people I see that are heavily fudding is just absolutely insane. It makes you crazy. And trust me when I say that people are salty, all right? Charles says again, hey, darling, I have a bridge in Brooklyn to sell you as well. Sad, huh? Because XRP was considered not a security, yet people still want to drag it down in the dirt. But hey, at the end of the day, that's crypto for you. People are never satisfied. Anyway, guys, if you've not done it yet, put that notification bell on, because if you don't have it, the moment that something crazy happens, you might not be notified. So make sure you change that up right now. Get your notification bell on, and I'll see you guys again in another crypto video later today, as there is a ton of stuff that still needs to be covered.